Hey guys, today I'll split my channel into two channels, or to be precise into two languages. I'll be releasing the same videos in German and in English. So you've arrived here. This is the English version because my channel today split in two languages, so you can also find a German version of this video on my channel. And today it'll be about how I do my art, mostly the digital one. And yeah, let's get it started. What I mostly do is I draw on my iPad. It's like the oldest version that actually supports the Apple Pencil. And that's mostly why you want iPad. I mean, it of course is overall a good device because you can do much other stuff with it. But what it does really good is the Apple Pencils. They are actually great for painting and they have some features other pencils just don't. For example, like you see here, the tip actually is pressure sensitive, so it will make a thicker line if you press hard or a thinner line if you press soft and stuff like that. So you of course can get the newest version with a second generation Apple Pencil, which I would actually recommend if you have the money. If not, everything with the Apple Pencil does just fine. And then the next thing you definitely want, no matter if you use an iPad or any other tablet with a stylus or any sort of digital drawing pen, whatever, you want a Paperlike display protection. Normally if you draw on your display, your stylus or your pen will just slide away, and it really makes a difference. Like, I've painted without and with, and you really feel the difference. It's worth it. Go check it out, link is in my description. So yeah, here you see my iPad together with the pencil, and on my iPad I have an app for drawing. There are many good ones, actually also free ones. I use Procreate. It costs $10. I'll also link you this in the description. It's really not much and it's an awesome program. It really has probably everything you'll ever need. So the app Procreate, it can also be used for other things actually, like schoolwork or designing, but yeah, I use it for painting and it's mostly thought for painting. And the really big advantage is the overwhelming amount of presets and brushes you can have in Procreate. Like, this is the thing that makes Procreate unique. It's just a one-time payment, so it's really worth it. Like, you don't need to waste time, like in exclamation marks, on details like grass and stuff, because they're like some nice texture brushes that you can just use, play around a little bit with, make some cows, and then ta-da! You have a field or whatever. And so that's the big advantage of Procreate. And another cool thing is that it will automatically record your whole painting process. You can in the end watch it back again and export this also directly as a video. So for a creator like me or aspiring one, it's really helpful. Also, of course, like other programs, there are even ones some for free. If you want a video on that, just tell me in the comments, I can do so. But like I said, today is about how I draw my stuff. So yeah, I use Procreate. So a tip for the start, for whatever digital or traditional painting, you want to have a good atmosphere, you want to be in a good mood, you want to like maybe listen to music, have your beautiful lighting on, and just, you know, clean your desk. I can really recommend that because it will just make you feel better, and because you are the painter, a part of your energy will always flow into the painting. So if you feel good, your painting will be better. Just as simple as that. Then the other thing is, from time to time, especially for traditional art, but it also works for digital art, you want to just make a break, 5 minutes, take a step back 5 meters and look at your painting from the distance, because when you're focused on the tiny details, you'll maybe lose the overall view and the composition and make some grave mistakes that you could never see if you know, stay in front of your painting and in the details. So go back, take a little break, enjoy it, and then take your mind off of it for 5 minutes, go outside, do some exercise or whatever, and then come back with a fresh mind and then start again. Also, another useful thing is digitally turn your canvas. It will basically instantly show you if there is any like anatomy or any shapes that just look weird. And the same thing works for traditional art. You just step in front of a mirror, hold your painting in front of you and look at it through the mirror. It will do the same effect. It will just turn it left to right and you will instantly see if there are mistakes. Then the next thing is reference versus inspiration or just experimenting. So if I have a reference, I'll first of all try to get the main colors down. So if it's a sky, for example, I'll make the big blue surface just 1 or 2 tones of blue, some cows maybe in it if it must be. If I see down there's for example a forest or a field, then I'll make a big green surface or shape. And that's the first part, really just getting the overall colors of the picture. Then the next thing is sketching in rough, like the bigger objects and forms, for example clouds, mountains, a house or Persians or whatever. After that I'll go into the details, like if that looks good and I know that my overall composition is good, only then I'll really start painting details, because before this it really is not worth it wasting time on details that you more likely will anyways have to scrap in the end if your overall composition isn't good. So yeah, after this I'll go into details, and then in the end I'll just check everything again. Like I said, take a break, come back again. This is mostly for digital, of course, playing around with colors, with saturation and stuff like that, and see where I can get the best results. Then only my signature is missing, and then that's basically it. Yeah, that's it if I have a reference. Then also there's this, what I call inspiration. If you have seen something, or you like don't try to really replicate somewhat exactly or the mood of a thing, but you just know a rough scene you want to paint, that's what I call inspiration. It will probably get a lot wilder because you don't have a straight direction to go in, but it can also, of course, further variety of end results, and it will also more show yourself and your specific energy or style or whatever you want to call it, because you decide where the process goes and you decide what you like about it and what not and what you want to paint. And then the last thing is, like, if I don't have any clue or inspiration at all, I sometimes just experiment, and this can get really wide into turning the canvas, turning the painting 180 degrees, making something totally else, just experimenting, starting with whatever. I just put color in there without any sense or goal in mind, and then part for part the goal or the picture will form itself, and I'll see, okay, it could be this or this, maybe it won't, but then part for part the picture comes together. And yeah, then the usual process starts. Then if I know what I want to do or what this painting should look like, what this painting wants to be, then I'll start with the usual process. And for example, there is a fall one more or less where it isn't about the painting, but really you wanting to paint, or you having to put out your emotions or whatever. You're having to get out your emotions, or you need to like get loose of your anger or have frustration with anything or whatever, and you just want to paint for the sake of it. And then I don't even give a fuck about how in the end the painting will look. It's just about how you feel or how I feel in the situation, and don't even try to make it look good or whatever. Really just go after what you need in this moment. So now I want to talk about digital versus traditional art. They both have advantages and disadvantages. And I'd actually recommend, if you do digital art, that you also try traditional art or do it regularly. That's because traditional art teaches you more things you'd never learn in digital art. I feel like a little bit digital art is the pro tool. Like, it'll give you some really advanced tools on your hands. It will make things faster, speed your progress up, and will let you allow things that you could never do traditionally. But of course it also weakens, for example, your color composition, that you never actually have to mix colors. That's a thing that is more or less explicit through traditional art, and so I'd recommend learn both, or if you only do traditional art, that's fine as well. But I'd recommend you also try digital art then, because, well, it can speed your things really up if you already know your stuff and your tools. If you already have your artist knowledge and about shapes, drawing, perspective, colors, and whatever you need. So, like I said, the big advantage of digital is it is fast. You have a vast amount of tools at your disposal, and it will like get you in the next skill level that you wouldn't be able to do now traditionally. But that also can harm your skills, and in the end, of course, you don't have a physical thing that you have made yourself. Like you'll have a nice picture, but that's it. You can't get it in the physical realm, except of course if you print it, but you know, it's not exactly the same like putting actually color or whatever in a painting on your canvas, or yeah. So it's basically, digital art is fast and you can do more, but it also may harm your skill, and it also will always stay digital and can't be more than that. Traditional art is very much harder, you need more training, more stuff, but it also is more rewarding, and you have like a physical evidence of what you did and what you already achieved. My main motto for basically everything, especially painting, is KISS. Keep it simple. You can always add one more and make it a little bit more complex, but for the start you really want the overall composition and everything to work out, be great, before you go and waste time on details. Then the next tip is that actually cows can go a long way if you use it wisely. Use it to texture trees or whatever, because you won't paint every last bit of grass or whatever on the horizon, you just can't. So you actually need cows and texture at your disposal and know how to use them right. That's a very important thing I've learned, that really helped my drawings. And the most important thing, just trust the process. Sometimes it will go wrong, sometimes you think it'll go wrong, but it will turn just out perfectly. But if you don't trust yourself, your skills, your knowledge, also it is limited, I mean, we are after all only human beings, then you won't get far. So trust in the process, just go on and try always to give your best. So now more or less at the end of the video, I want to introduce you to my Patreon account. If you don't know what Patreon is, it's a platform where you can donate small amounts of money monthly to support your favorite creators. For me that would be $2 or $5 depending on what you choose, and in return you'll get exclusive perks like seeing my video earlier, an exclusive art stream, an option to talk to me personally, or your name shown in the end as a little thank you, and other stuff like that, depending on of course what you choose. I mean, $2 or $5 is nothing no one can afford, it's basically a cup of coffee a month. If many people donate a small amount of money, that can actually go a long way. So if you like what I do here, I would really appreciate this. But of course you can also find me on all my other socials you see here, especially on Instagram I'm very active, or my Etsy shop if you want to buy my artworks. For now only digital, but I'm working on getting them out there as prints and posters, so you can actually have something a little bit cooler than, you know, just a phone background. Also, that's already pretty awesome. I really hope you enjoyed this and it may have told you a little bit or helped you something. If not, well, feel free to leave a like anyways, or comment me what you would want to know. That's it with this video. I hope you have an awesome day and an awesome week and an awesome life, and that you do really well and that you find joy and beauty in nature and in yourself. And yeah, well, that's all I wanted to say for now. Thank you so much for watching and see you in the next one.